Next, we're going to cover pointers. Now, pointers can be confusing to new developers, and we're going to try to make this as painless as possible to go through what exactly a pointer is. So first, let's start with a variable, just an integer. Let's call it a equals 5. Now, let's print out the value of a and also the memory location. So every time you create a variable, it is actually taking up space in memory. So let's print this out. Print location. And to print out the pointer location, we're going to say p. And then we're also going to print out the value of it. And in order to do this, we have to use a special character, which is the ampersand. And you can think of that as A as in ampersand for address. So this is taking the address of A, and it gives us, it will print out in this spot here. The location here on your computer might be different, but the value is also A. That will be the same. So what really is a pointer? So let's go into, I've created a slide here. Now really a pointer is just your variable here. We have a equal to 5. It's at a set location. Now what a pointer really is you're creating a new variable, let's call it b, which has its own location, which might be a little confusing because it itself is taking up space. It is holding the address location of your other variable. In this case, b has the value of the address of a. And you can see this by this arrow here is pointing back to this address location here. Now let's write this out in the code. So let's say b is a variable, and we're going to make it equal to the address of a. Now we're not referencing the number, we're referencing the memory location. Now we're going to print out the location again. Let's do it this way. So we're going to print out both A and B. So this is printing out A location and the value of A. And then we're going to do the location of B and the value of B. And because B is really the pointer, we're also going to dereference it to print the value that is being stored there, which is a different notation, which is star B. So let's put that in here. Star B means to dereference the B, which B is a pointer. It's basically taking off this star, and it'll turn it into an integer type. Let's run this. So you can see here the location of A right here ends in 2020, and location of A again after I added the assignment here is also the same. Now you can see B has a different location. This is where the variable B is stored, and then the value of B equals the same location of A. So you can see these two numbers are the same. Going back here, this number and that number are the same. Now when we dereference B, we're given the value of A right here. So let's do a test. Let's try to change. How do we change the number of 5 by using the variable b? We can do that via dereferencing. B equals 3. So what if we didn't use the star there? It would actually give us an error because these two types are not the same. So 3 is an untyped int, whereas b is actually a pointer int. So we need to dereference first, then we can change that. So now that we changed the value, we can see that A has actually been updated, as well as B, because we use the pointer in order to make that change. Now pointers become very important when we use them with structs. This allows us to pass data around without incurring a lot of memory overhead. And we'll go into that in another lecture.